This is an Euler Greg news flash alert. This Wednesday, June 10th, join the excitement as Mr. Matthews, Brent, Jez, Euler Greg, and possibly others will engage in the great debate. Namely, which is superior, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, or Star Trek the Motion Picture. While I am personally a fan of both films, Wrath of Khan is clearly the superior film. Writing, directing, and acting, I believe, are the critical differences in these two films. And of course, Wrath of Khan has much more action. Mr. Matthews is correct to point out the enormous danger potential of engaging in a debate with a fantastically intelligent but hopelessly misguided multinational European coalition of motion picture enthusiasts that we have before us. But risk is our business. It is why we are YouTubers. And I must point out the potential for entertainment is equally great. It is worth that risk. Robert Weiss directed the motion picture, and while he was a fine director for something like The Sound of Music or West Side Story, or even The Day the Earth Stood Still, he was inappropriate for Star Trek because he doesn't do any research. He didn't watch a single minute of film. He didn't see or read up on it. He knew nothing of it. That reminds me of Rian Johnson, totally lacking in canon. He subverted the Star Trek fans' expectations, which some loved, as some loved The Last Jedi, but others did not. He had low love or appreciation for Star Trek. Nicholas Meyer directed Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and in contrast, the very first thing he did was pull the entire series and watch every single episode. This showed his respect for the fans and for canon, and it made a huge difference, I think, in the choice of Khan as the antagonist. In the motion picture, there was basically, no one to work against, no actor to work against. It makes a huge difference. Ricardo Montalban turned in the finest performance of a long career, Oscar-worthy, I believe. Working in the elements from Moby Dick and the White Whale, Kirk was basically Khan's white whale, and he was going to have him no matter what. This explains his rash actions in following him into the nebula and his possible mistakes. It explains a great deal. And don't forget, Khan had lost Lieutenant McGivers on the planet because of Kirk, who he loved. So I shall save further stuff for the debate on Wednesday. Please join us on Digital Pollution channel. We shall now hear what Leonard Nimoy thinks of the motion picture.
Writers start out, or producers start with saying, where's the script? Studios will hand you 150 blank pages and say, here, fill this. Well, if you can't fill it successfully, it's a nightmare. It's a horror. And it was. The making that first movie was very, very dispiriting, very depressing. We had a bad script. It just never worked. It was always a struggle to try to figure out how to bring some life to this project. They were shooting. We tried desperately to inject, and occasionally they'd say, okay, we'll shoot a little bit. I'd come up with an idea. They cut it out of the movie. The last day, We're on the bridge shooting the final scene of the movie. We're all saying goodbye to each other. We've all come back supposedly for this mission. Now we're going back to our homes and so forth. And Kirk goes around to the various characters and said, okay, Dr. McCoy, we're going to take you back. He was come out of retirement or something. And came to me and said, Spock, we'll have it back on Vulcan in a day or two. And I was supposed to say, fine, Captain, I think I'll stay as well or something. And I thought, let's go for some fun here. We've been so somber this entire movie. There's been no humor, no charm, which Star Trek was full of. Charm and humor, full of it. So in the final rehearsal, when he came to me and McCoy had just said he was going to stay on the ship, I said, Captain, if Dr. McCoy is to stay here, my presence here will be essential. A big laugh out of the crew. Big laugh. And then I saw a huddle with the bosses off camera. And Bob Weiss, bless him, who was directing the movie, and really himself had said many times he didn't have a grasp of Star Trek. I mean, he said, well, the feeling is it's not the right tone to end the movie. We should be a little bit more serious. And, okay. That was my gift to you. You don't want it, fine, I'll take it back.
On January the 26th, 1979,
Ooh, teeny Brit, I hear it's almost your birthday. It's a Jawa just for you. That's not a Gorn, but you might be if you don't like and subscribe.
You lied.
I exaggerated.
Hours instead of days.